In the early hours of June 5, 1976, eastern Idaho was quiet. Farmers were beginning their day, families were still at home, and a massive concrete and earth structure stood silently between calm water and the lives downstream. The Teton Dam, nearly completed and still being filled for the first time, was considered a symbol of progress. By sunset, it would become one of the most devastating engineering failures in American history. The Teton Dam was built on the Teton River, near the town of Rexburg, Idaho. Construction began in 1972 under the supervision of the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation. The dam was designed to control flooding, provide irrigation water, and generate hydroelectric power for the region. Rising over 300 feet high, it was an earth-filled dam made of compacted soil, rock, and a clay core meant to prevent water from seeping through. From the beginning, there were concerns. The area's geology was complex, composed largely of volcanic rock known to be porous and fractured. Engineers attempted to compensate by adding grout curtains and sealing measures deep into the foundation. On paper, the dam met standards. In reality, the land beneath it was far more fragile than calculations suggested. By early June 1976, the reservoir behind the dam was nearing capacity for the first time. This is always the most critical phase in a dam's life. As water pressure increases, even the smallest weakness can turn catastrophic. On the morning of June 5, workers noticed small leaks on the downstream face of the dam. At first, they seemed manageable. Minor seepage is not unusual in earth dams. But within hours, the leaks grew darker and stronger. Muddy water began pushing through the structure, a warning sign engineers fear most. This process, known as internal erosion or piping, occurs when water carves channels through soil from the inside out. Once piping starts, stopping it becomes extremely difficult. Engineers scrambled to respond. Bulldozers attempted to push material into the leak. Emergency protocols were discussed, but the water pressure was increasing faster than any intervention could handle. At approximately 11:57 a.m., a section of the dam suddenly collapsed. What followed was unstoppable. A wall of water burst through the dam, ripping away the structure within minutes. An estimated 80 billion gallons of water surged downstream, moving faster than a speeding vehicle. The flood wave reached nearby towns with terrifying speed. In some areas, residents had less than 30 minutes to evacuate. Entire communities were swallowed. Homes were torn from foundations. Roads disappeared. Vehicles were tossed like toys. Schools, farms, and businesses vanished under the force of the water. The towns of Wilford, Sugar City, and parts of Rexburg were hit hardest. Despite the scale of destruction, the death toll was lower than expected. 11 people lost their lives. This was largely due to quick warnings and the time of day. Many people were awakened, able to flee. Still, more than 11,000 residents were displaced. Thousands of homes were damaged or destroyed. The economic damage was staggering. Total losses exceeded $1 billion in 1976 currency, equivalent to several billion today. Farmland was ruined. Infrastructure had to be rebuilt from scratch. Livelihoods disappeared overnight. As the floodwaters receded, attention turned to a single question: how could this have happened? The U.S. government launched an extensive investigation. Engineers, geologists, and independent experts examined every aspect of the dam's design and construction. The conclusion was clear and uncomfortable. The failure was not caused by an earthquake, sabotage, or extreme weather. It was the result of human error. The dam had been built on unsuitable geological foundations. The volcanic rock beneath allowed water to seep through, initiating internal erosion. Design assumptions failed to account for the true behavior of the materials underground. The Teton Dam became a turning point in engineering history. It forced a complete reassessment of dam safety standards in the United States. Geological investigations became stricter. Independent reviews were strengthened. Emergency planning requirements expanded nationwide. The dam was never rebuilt. For the people of Idaho, the disaster left lasting scars. Some families never returned. Others rebuilt, carrying the memory of that day forever. The land still bears signs of the flood, and the empty site where the dam once stood remains a quiet reminder of what went wrong. The Teton Dam failure teaches a powerful lesson. Massive structures do not fail suddenly. They fail when small warnings are ignored, when confidence replaces caution, and when nature's complexity is underestimated. It shows that even advanced engineering cannot succeed without humility before the environment. Nearly 5 decades later, the disaster is still studied in universities around the world. Engineers analyze it not to assign blame, but to ensure it never happens again. It stands as proof that progress without understanding can be dangerous, and that safety is not optional, it is essential. On June 5, 1976, a dam meant to protect communities instead erased them, and in doing so, it reshaped the future of engineering forever.